Hey y'all, shut the F up. It's Fat Letitia season. Counting money and signing mortgages like a boss. From rags to bags, I got enough to divorce my dad. I got tips for your skinny ass. First, don't live where you rule. Queens rule over filth, but they don't live in the filth they rule over. Second, accuse those of which you are guilty of. You don't get to be a Fat Letitia rolling in the dough with your rolls of dough unless you sue Trump. You can't punch me below the belt. You can't even see my belt. Punch up Fat Queen. Fat Letitia season forever. I'm out.
Yo, what's up, guys? We're at the airport in St. Louis right now, so forgive the walk and talk, but this news is too important to not chat through. Letitia James, grand jury announcement. Letitia James, the hunter has become the hunted. Now, this is something that was promised on our program time and time again, and so we got to just spike the football here. We made international news when Mike Davis came on our show and said, we are going to put your fat ass in prison, and now it looks like we were right once again. If you tuned into the Benny Show and you heard it first, that the thesis behind the Trump administration was not going to be like, oh, let's just allow these people to do it all over again. We're going to actually fight back, and we're going to take the criminals who behaved criminally against people like President Trump, and we're going to toss their asses in prison. So this is the news that Letitia James has a grand jury impaneled against her for the fraudulence that she engaged in, and the irony and all that is that the falsification of records and all that kind of stuff, she went after Trump for these exact same things. So, like, you know, you got a decimal place wrong, right, on your taxes. Donald Trump made a payment, didn't classify it the right way, whatever. They're charging Letitia James. They're using the same weapons against her that she used against Trump. It's just gorgeous. The irony, fate loves irony, and this is the irony. That they're going to be falling on their own sword, hoisted on their own petards, as they say. And so Letitia James has a grand jury. Now, grand juries by nature are secret, so all we know is that there is evidence that is being presented that the DOJ has seen as criminal, and then they're bringing that to a jury, a grand jury, and the DOJ is the only people that get to present that evidence. Then the grand jury returns an indictment. We believe that they're guilty of this, and that's why the grand jury process is really dangerous, because you can get grand juries to indict and you don't get to defend yourself. Then they have the indictment against Letitia James. First time I think that an sitting AG, certainly in New York, but maybe around the country, has ever been indicted. And again, fate loves irony. It's the exact same charges. It's going to be the same charges that she committed mortgage fraud. And of course, mortgage fraud is a big deal. The reason why mortgage fraud is a big deal is that Letitia James, she said she was a resident of Virginia. She wasn't. She was the Attorney General of New York at the time. But if you're a resident of Virginia and you're able to claim multiple residencies, you get special loan privileges, you get special write-offs, you get tax privileges. Depending on the state, you get homesteader exemptions. You can make millions off fraud like this. You can make hundreds of millions at scale off fraud like this. Real estate fraud is obviously a very dangerous thing. And so this is like a cold cut case. We've had experts on talking about it. Okay, so here we go. First things first, Mike Davis saying that Letitia James's fat ass is going to prison. Here we go.
Just say this to Big Tish James, the New York Attorney General. I dare you. I dare you to try to continue your lawfare against President Trump in his second term, because listen here, sweetheart, we're not messing around this time, and we will put your fat ass in prison for conspiracy against rights. And I promise you that. So think long and hard before you want to violate President Trump's constitutional rights or any other American's constitutional rights. It's not going to happen again.
We've been warning people on the show, Mike. This isn't the same Trump administration. Stop messing around. Don't rig elections. Don't illegally vote. Don't try the funny business, because we know the team this time and they are not effing around.
A reminder that clip is from like 8 months ago. That's how right we were and how ahead of this we were. But then we also had somebody who's been investigating Letitia James on our program, who's a white-collar crime investigator. He himself had served in federal penitentiary. He's a white-collar crime expert, right? So the kinds of process crimes that somebody who's rich, like Letitia James, I think she has like a net worth of many millions of dollars. Now, Letitia James, he's an expert on this. And he said, no, you don't understand. The evidence here is demonstrable. She's guilty. She's going to jail.
There was a video that went viral last week of a reporter for the Daily Caller wandering up to these homes in Virginia, drove out there, and not too happy, the residents of these homes. They were enraged, actually. They were yelling and screaming, and they definitely were not Letitia James. You can hear them on the tape here. We'll just play like a couple of seconds of it.
Hi there. I'm a reporter with the Daily Caller News Foundation.
Goodbye. You're trespassing.
I'm sorry.
Trespassing. My kids are out here.
I understand. We mean no trouble. We're just curious who the occupants of the home are,
Don't
because
worry
there's
about whose occupants. That's none of your business.
well
Okay, Sam.
connections.
First of
There
all,
are
he's not
connections.
trespassing.
We mean no trouble. We're just.
I'm not sure. Audio off, please. Thank you. Mute it. I'm not sure. You're not trespassing by standing on a sidewalk. We do this all the time, actually.
And by the way, myself and Joel Gilbert, another researcher who's done very, very good work in this case also, visited her residence in Brooklyn, that's Virginia, on Sunday, took video, and it's going to be out he's going to have it out by tomorrow or today. We went to the property. We examined in other words, we went to the scene of the crime, actually, and we examined the property, and that's where we found 5 doorbells for 5 units. In addition, I've examined Con Edison documents that show 5 electrical services for 5 units, and of course, you have the certificate of occupancy. The evidence speaks for itself. When she's trying to say, well, it was always 4, listen, the governing document, as any competent lawyer is going to tell you, is a certificate of occupancy. And she wants to say, well, it's an accident, it's a mistake. Oh, okay, give back all the money you saved from the mortgage companies. Okay, because of the false underwriting that you took out. You were in default on every single one of those, every single outstanding mortgage today, she's in default on because it contains material omissions.
Just really quickly here, Sam. How cooked is Letitia James? Should we expect the handcuffs that we've seen on various high-ranking Democrat officials across the country happening last week? Should we expect that? I mean, will we actually get the handcuff moment here with Letitia James?
I don't know what will happen. I can't predict the future. Yeah. But all I can say is whether or not they handcuff her, she's guilty. The evidence shows that she's guilty. Most likely they are going to handcuff her, and most likely they are going to arrest her, and most likely they are going to indict her. But irrespective of that, the documentation speaks for itself. And if they can't bring a case against them, shame on them. They suffer the humiliation. I stand behind all of the research that I've done, and all of the research that I've done shows that she's guilty of mortgage fraud, violating New York State financial disclosure statutes, mail fraud, wire fraud, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a lawyer, but she is guilty. She is guilty of signing documents that contain false information that she financially benefited from, and she can't get out of that.
Well, it's certainly what I voted for, and the hunters have become the hunted, and it is an amazing day to be an American. As ever, ladies and gentlemen, lock her up. Lock her up? Lock her up. Everyone was chanting that. Were they talking about Letitia James or Hillary? I don't even care anymore. Here we go. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. It's your boy Benny. See ya.